Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hashtag Zia here. Thanks for joining me. It's a beautiful day today, Friday. I think it's the 17th. God, I always get the dates wrong, but like I said, beautiful day today. I thought, why not take the motorcycle to work? I haven't taken my bike yet to commute. Really don't plan on doing that a whole lot, at least in my old location. I work near the airport. I'm driving from Kennesaw towards the airport, and traffic is just horrible. But today I figure, you know, let me check that box off, because I've never ridden my bike to work. See how it's like. It's always different in a car. You don't think about it too much. You're less than alert, half asleep. On a bike, it's a different story, as you should know. So yeah, you'll see how that's like. It's about 32-mile trip, and it's not very exciting apart from all the idiot drivers trying to crisscross in the lanes, cut in front of people, you know, just because they don't want to wait in line their turn. They want to rush up towards the end and then cut across. And you know, I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with that, as long as you don't disrupt traffic, as long as you don't make the car you're cutting in front of brake like hell and disrupt traffic. I'm cool with that. Go for it. More power to you. I've done that. I'll be lying if I say I haven't done that. I've done that, but I do it in a way that there's plenty of space between me and the car that I'm cutting in front of. I'm not just gonna cut across and make the car I'm cutting across in front of do like a emergency braking or anything like that, and then completely disrupt traffic or maybe even cause an accident. So I see that happening a lot, and that's something that really pisses me off. There's people who just are impatient and just don't want to wait and cut across at somebody else's expense is what kind of gives me road rage. But hopefully today there will be no road rage, because I'm gonna have to chill out. Whenever it's bike versus car, I'm gonna chill out in my bike. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're from the Atlanta area, but traffic has gotten really bad in the last decade. I'm not native to Atlanta, but I mean, I'd like to say that I am, since I moved here in 1998, so that's over 20 years ago. So I don't know if that qualifies me to say that I am a native here of Atlanta, but I'd like to think so. So when I moved here in 1998, the traffic was bad. It was not like traffic was any better or easy, but we still had courteous drivers on the road. What I mean by that is, whenever you had your turn signals on, you wanted to shift a lane, and you weren't trying to cut in front of anybody, you were just, you know, had your turn signals on, and you were just trying to see if somebody will give you way. There would always be, if not that same car next to you, the car behind it that would give you way. So, and this whole cutting in front of a car just to take an exit because you don't want to wait long in line, or wait in a long line, either way, either scenario, you know, that barely happened back in 1998, 99, 2000. I do not remember a whole lot. I would say if it happened, it was maybe 1 out of 10 times, maybe 2, but that would really be pushing it. Now you look at it, it is almost 10 out of 10 times. I would even go as far as say 11 out of 10 times, which is like impossible. It happens every time you get to see it. So I mean, you know, if you're gonna do that, just calm down, you know, get out early, have a little bit of patience, do not disrupt traffic. When you're trying to cut in front of the other guy, the worst is when you're stopping in that lane, disrupting that lane's traffic, trying to get into the other lane. It's just, you know, you're gonna cause an accident. It's just worse. It's horrible. So here we are, not even a few miles down the road on the highway, and we are standstill, and I'm in the wrong lane. I should know better. I should be in the right 2 lanes. That always keeps moving. But yeah, so everybody just needs to chill out on the roads. I don't know where these drivers are coming from, which state, what part of the country they moved here from, but man, you have brought the worst of the driving atmosphere with you. It wasn't like this. I don't know what happened. If you're from Atlanta, go ahead and chime in the comments, because it's kind of sad to see this kind of stuff here, which, you know, where once this used to be the most, in my mind, one of the most courteous, you know, bunch of people on the road. So apart from people driving slow in the fast lane and hogging it, that I don't think has ever changed. If you've lived here, you know that has never changed. Even though I believe it's law now, it is a law that if you're driving slow, there's a car behind you, you're not to police the lane or the speed limit or anything like that. You need to get out of the way. But nobody does it, nobody enforces it. But the police want to enforce aggressive drivers, and I get that as well. Police wants to enforce aggressive drivers. If I was right on your ass, inches away from your bumper, yeah, you know, I expect to get pulled over and ticketed. But I've got to be on your ass at some distance for you to know I need you to get out of the way. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that guy in front of you will say, he's comfortable, you know, he's not riding up my ass, so I don't need to get out of the way. So I mean, you know, where's the balance in that equation? I don't know. I'm just ranting on today, but I just thought I'd bring you a few of these issues that I see on the road, and I know there's a lot more that I'm talking about, but this is what pretty much gets me pissed off. You know, you're driving slow, get out of the way, get on the right lane. You're gonna, you know, it's worse when you're driving slow and a guy driving fast behind you is gonna zigzag through the lanes. That is, you're putting traffic at danger even more than a guy driving fast. And what I mean by driving fast, I don't mean driving 100, 120 miles an hour. I'm talking about, you know, driving 75 or 80 on the highway here, which is very common. As much as cops pull you over and tell you that, hey, you're doing 68 on a 65, that's speeding. Okay, cool, man, whatever. You know, you want to give me a ticket, give me a ticket. Otherwise, you know, if I was speeding for a reason, because I'm trying to get somewhere. So, but you know, they always like to throw that line on you, and I mean, you know, they're doing their jobs. I can't go ahead and say anything bad about the police, because I haven't gotten pulled over. I don't remember the last time, how many times I've gotten pulled over, but I was recently pulled over. I was doing maybe 5-6 miles an hour more. That cop was, you know, on her cell phone, and she was having a bad day. She was being rude. You know, I kept my calm. I told her at the end of the day that, hey, I agree with you. I didn't realize I was going fast. I was just going with traffic and people were passing me, but you know, I didn't realize that I was going fast enough where it was an issue. So I told the cop that she was right. You know, I was going fast, so there's nothing I can do here, you know. And you know, the cop calmed down and said that, you know, just slow down. Whenever you see somebody like her, a police officer behind you, slow down. That's an indication. And that was, you know, something I didn't do because I was going, I don't know, 72, 73 on a 65, and I was like, well, you know, I've never been pulled over before for that speed, but apparently, if there's a tip, if a cop is riding next to you, goes behind you, changes lane, is doing a lot of activity around you, that means slow down. But anyway, coming back to that story, the cop, you know, kind of cooled off a bit, and I'm not sure why she was pissed off, but cooled off and said that just, you know, slow down next time you see a cop and have a nice day. And she didn't give me a ticket, so I shook her hand and I said I really appreciate it, and she smiled and shook my hand back. So cops are doing their job. I don't think anybody should be rude to cops. Anybody should argue with the cops. But on the other hand, I think the cops, you know, should also be mindful that if they're having a bad day, that doesn't need to come out on the citizens. So you know, you are the law. You are there to serve and protect, not to, you know, enforce and punish. That was totally a movie line. Just trying to say that cops are there to serve and protect, you know, be nice to each other, I guess. So I don't know where the story is going or why I switched over here, but basically what I'm trying to say is that you know, I'm having a good morning. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, what kind of morning, afternoon are you guys having? So yeah, coming back to the driving part here in Atlanta, people cutting in, and here's another thing. I have seen so many times drivers turn their, you know, put their turn signal on, and for some reason in their mind immediately they think that they have the God-given right to switch lanes the moment they have their turn signals on. I am not sure what they're thinking, you know. Please go ahead and share with me in the comments below if that's ever happened to you. Guy next to you, you're driving at, you know, cruise control. Guy next to you is driving cruise control, no issues, everybody's happy. All of a sudden the guy on the right decides to put the left turn signal on, and without checking immediately starts switching lanes right in front of you, maybe even almost hitting you, and honk your horn. You tell the guy, dude, what's up? I mean, check your mirrors, I'm right next to you. And the best part is, instead of saying sorry, the other guy flicks you off saying, F you, it's your fault. Like, oh my God, if that doesn't get your blood boiling, I don't know what would. Sometimes, you know, sometimes that's another thing, you know, somebody else makes a mistake, you honk at them, and you know, sometimes when people raise their hands and they apologize, at that moment I have 110% dropped whatever I was upset about or whatever gripe I had with you making that move. It's gone. You raise your hand, you say sorry, it's done, it's over, no problem, let's move on, you know. But when you're doing something wrong on the road and I honk because you're affecting me or my space, or affecting me in terms of where I have to do an emergency brake or I have to switch lanes, because if I don't, you are going to cause an accident with me and potentially other cars, I will honk at you. You know, if you don't like it, don't make the move. But the last thing you want to do is flick the person off when you're in the wrong. Oh, at that point, I really wish that I have one of those James Bond special cars, you know what I mean? I wish I have like an Aston, you know, which has got a couple of rocket launchers, a couple of machine guns attached to it, and man, that would be fun. That would be fun. But those kind of fun just have to stay in the movies, I guess. So yeah, so that really pisses me off, and that's what I'm talking about. The drivers like these existed before, you know, back in the late 90s and crossing over in the millennia, crossing over to the 2000s, but man, you barely saw them. They did not exist as much as they do now. Now it's just ridiculous. You know, ever since the boom happened in Atlanta, I guess the second boom I should call it, because the first boom was after the Olympics, and that's when I moved there. But whenever the second boom happened, when, you know, population doubled, I'm not sure where these guys came from. It would be unfair for me to say that people came in from the north, you know, northeast, but it could be from anywhere. Anyway, it's enough ranting. Beautiful day today in Atlanta. Beautiful day. Not sure what the weather is showing right now. I think it's, well, it was in the 60s. Its bike is showing 77. I don't think that's quite right, or rather 76 now. Up back to 77, so I guess. So yeah, beautiful weather. I'm just tired of the rain. We get a lot of rain. April, you know, it's the same over here. April showers bring Mayflowers and pollen. Oh, that pollen will kill you over here. And it's not just one kind of pollen, 100 different kind of pollen. So I'm just done with the rain. I mean, God, if I, you know, I would love to just see if I can find some work out west, maybe in Phoenix or anywhere in California where it rarely rains. I mean, I'm not taking all this greenery we have for granted. You know, that's good. I thank God that we have such beautiful scenery here in Atlanta, but man, I am just tired of the rain. It just rains too much on the weekend too. That's what pisses me off, is, you know, on the weekdays, sometimes you know, most of the times I don't get to ride my bike on the weekdays, but on the weekdays it'll be really nice and beautiful, and then all of a sudden, you know, weekend rolls around, you have plans and you want to go riding somewhere, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, there's rain in the forecast, and that ruins the plans. I mean, I know that hardcore riders will ride no matter what, rain or shine, they will get a ride in. And if that's the case, then I guess I am not a hardcore rider, because I enjoy riding, and I don't care what the temperature is. It could be blistering hot, it could be cold, as long as it's dry. I like riding in the dry weather. But you know, if it's dry weather, I start off a ride and it rains, you know, cool, whatever. You know, it's good practice, I guess. It's good practice. You get stuck in it, hopefully it'll go away during your ride. If not, it is what it is. But if it's already raining, you wake up, it's pouring down, or whatever kind of rain, except, you know, thunder or storm rain. If it's raining light, normal, medium, whatever, I am not gonna be gung-ho and jump on my bike, put my helmet on, and go out riding in the rain and enjoying that ride. That's not gonna happen. So But yeah, beautiful day today, and I think it's going to be great throughout the weekend. So hopefully I'll get some a nice ride in over the weekend. And for you riders, I hope you get a nice ride in as well. And I think this video's gone on long. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and hopefully next time I see you, it'll be a jolly Zia rather than a ranty Zia, and hopefully I can bring you a nice ride over the weekend. So thanks for tuning in, appreciate it. If you like the video, please click like and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, be safe.